You are running. Your sneakers slap against the cold, rain-slicked asphalt of North Carolina Highway 18. It's 4 a.m. The sky is a bruised purple, and the wind is whipping a storm raging through your thin white t-shirt. A car slows down. Headlights cut through the downpour, illuminating your small, 9-year-old frame. The driver circles back, concerned, trying to get a look at the child wandering alone in the dark. You don't ask for help. You don't wave him down. Instead, you bolt. You plunge into the darkness of the tree line, disappearing into the woods, leaving nothing behind but the sound of the rain. On the morning of February 14, 2000, in Shelby, North Carolina, Asha Degree went to wake her children for school. Her son, O'Brien, was in his bed. Her daughter, Asha, was gone. The night before had been unremarkable, save for a power outage caused by a nearby car accident. Harold Degree, Asha's father, had checked on the children at 2:30 a.m. and saw them both sleeping soundly. But sometime between that check and the 5:45 a.m. wake-up call, 9-year-old Asha Degree did the unthinkable. She packed a book bag with several sets of clothes, let herself out of the house, and walked into a stormy night. There was no sign of forced entry, no evidence of a struggle. Asha, a shy, gifted student and star point guard on her basketball team who was scared to death of dogs, had seemingly walked into the void of her own volition. The response was immediate. By 6:40 a.m., police were on the scene, but the rain had washed away any scent for the tracking dogs. Within days, the first disturbing clues emerged. About 1.3 miles from her home, candy wrappers, a pencil, a marker, and a yellow hair bow were found in a shed at a local business. Asha's parents confirmed the items belonged to her. Despite 9,000 man-hours of searching and hundreds of leads, the trail went cold almost immediately. Investigators were baffled. Asha didn't fit the profile of a runaway. She was young, came from a stable, loving home, and had no history of behavioral issues. Yet, the evidence suggested she had planned her departure, packing her bag days in advance. The case took a dramatic turn 18 months later. In August 2001, a construction worker 26 miles north of Shelby, in Morganton, unearthed a plastic-wrapped object. It was Asha's book bag. It had been buried at a construction site along Highway 18. Inside, the FBI found items that didn't belong to Asha. A copy of Dr. Seuss's McElligo's Pool from her school library and a New Kids on the Block concert t-shirt. Why were these items in her bag? Had someone given them to her? The fact that the bag was double-bagged in trash bags and buried suggested foul play. This wasn't the act of a runaway child, but the disposal of evidence by a predator. For over 20 years, the Degrees held an annual walk to the site where Asha was last seen, refusing to let the world forget Shelby's sweetheart. The investigation saw a massive resurgence in 2015 when the FBI joined the case, offering a $25,000 reward. New leads emerged, including a dark green early 1970s Lincoln Continental Mark IV, or Ford Thunderbird with rust around the wheel wells that Asha may have entered on the night she vanished. The biggest breakthrough came in late 2024 and early 2025. In September 2024, authorities executed search warrants based on physical evidence, seizing a green 1964 AMC Rambler. By February 2025, the case was officially reclassified as a homicide investigation. Warrants revealed seized cell phones and text messages between suspects, with one message reportedly stating, "The theory is I did it." As of April 2025, investigators continue to search properties once owned by key figures in the investigation. The disappearance of Asha Degree presents a profound psychological paradox: the planned departure versus victim selection, conflict. 1. The pre-computation of a runaway. Asha's behavior leading up to the night of February 14 suggests a high level of executive function for a 9-year-old. She packed a bag with multiple changes of clothes and personal items. In pediatric psychology, children who run away at this age usually do so impulsively after a fight. Asha, however, showed proactive planning. This suggests she was either highly motivated by an internal fantasy, perhaps influenced by a book or a story, or, more likely, was being groomed. A groomer often uses autonomy building tactics, convincing a child that they are embarking on a secret mission or adventure to bypass the child's natural fear of the dark and strangers. 2. The avoidance of help. When the motorist attempted to help Asha, she fled into the woods. This is a critical behavioral marker. Under normal, lost child psychology, a 9-year-old in a storm would typically seek out an adult for safety. Her flight response suggests conditioned fear or instruction. If she were being groomed, she may have been told that bad people would try to stop her from reaching her destination. This reflects a psychological state of captured agency, where the child's survival instincts are redirected to protect the secret or the mission assigned by the predator. 3. The comfort item anomaly. The inclusion of the McElligos pool book and the band t-shirt, items not her own, found in her buried bag suggests a predatory signature. Predators often use gifts to establish a rapport or specialness with the victim. From a behavioral standpoint, the fact that these items were found buried 26 miles away indicates a move from nurturing, grooming to disposal, dehumanization. The offender's behavior shifted from carefully concealing the child to systematically hiding the evidence of her existence, pointing to a local offender who was familiar with the geography of both Shelby and Morganton. 4. The suspect communication. Recent warrants mentioning text messages like, "The theory is I did it," reveal a psychological phenomenon known as the need to confess, or leakage. Even decades later, offenders often struggle with the burden of the secret, leading them to discuss the case in hypotheticals or dark humor with close associates. This leakage is often what eventually collapses long-standing cold cases.